What's up, guys? Just going to take some time and do a quick listing for UFC 313. This will be on March the 8th, and the main event is Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. So, this will be the first NFT that we create, a V1 Ruski, which is pegged to Ankalaev. Pereira, we were actually on version 5. So these are the V5s. You go ahead and switch over. Let me find my display here. To window and done. There we go. So yeah, you can see this fight's coming up. Light heavyweight main event on March the 8th. Just went through and did the minting. I think I minted out about 37 per fighter with some one of ones. And you can see these are the regular versions right here. These will be listed for $5. And of course, we have the one of one right there. And that one is going to be listed. We're probably going to do an auction on this one. This is Stone Fist, the fifth V5 Stone Fist. You'll notice too, when you look at the regular version here, it says V5 right there. And then when you look at the one of ones, it says V5.5. So anytime you see the .5, you know that it's either a one of one or at least a minimum edition or a special edition. We have very few NFTs in the collection, but there are a handful where we did the .5s for, like, say if we sold 20 something NFTs for a fighter version, we had .5 on all of them. In retrospect, we shouldn't have done that. I think once or twice it was intentional, and then maybe a couple times it was unintentional. Just forgot to knock the .5 off of it. So pretty much now when you see the .5s, it's only going to be like if it's like a limited edition. Uh, so most likely it's a one of one, or you might see like a set of three or a set of five, right? And the reason we do that is because when you purchase a limited edition or a special edition, a lot of times you'll purchase this one of one, but we'll airdrop you the regular edition for the same fighter. And many times we'll airdrop you the regular edition for the same fighter and the regular edition for the opponent. That way it hedges your ability to win, right? So if you bought the Stone Fist one of one, you would get the special edition with the limited edition art, right? And that's your .5. You would get one of these regular editions of Stone Fist, and then we would airdrop you a regular edition of Ruski. So you've got two of the fighter that you really wanted, that you bought the one of one, and you got one of the opposite. So how does that help you out? Well, for one, um, if Stone Fist wins, you've got two shares pulling a larger percentage from the rewards pool. But if that Stone Fist loses and Ruski wins, you still have one share of the opponent. So it's a hedge bet. You're going to get some sort of reward. So you could just as easily go in and purchase both sides as well, right? So let's say the one of ones are gone. You can always purchase as many of each fighter as you want, and we encourage you to do so. That's why we price them so low at that $5 price point. Um, that encourages you to buy multiples, because the multiples will let you earn more immediately if the fighter wins. But then down the road, you might want to keep one as a collector and a fan, but you might want to burn one to upgrade to a legend NFT. And then you might want to flip one on the open marketplace, because if you're buying all the versions of a single fighter and other players show up late and their first versions, or say later versions like a V4, V5, V6, they're going to go back to the secondary market if they want to purchase the V1, V2, and V3 that they weren't around for. And that gives you the ability as the collector and the player the chance to control the secondary market. And that's honestly where some of your biggest returns will be. It'll be flipping to players who come in later. Um, the other thing that it helps you with when you buy these one of ones, so like when you buy this dot five here of Ruski, you'll get the regular edition of Ruski here, and then you'll get the regular edition of Stonefist, right? So it's the same thing. You've got a hedge prediction. You're going to earn no matter who wins the fight, but on one side you'll win a little bit more than the other. Now the thing to consider as well is the way Legends NFTs work is if you have Stonefist fighting Ruski, whether or not the player has Stonefist and Ruski NFT staked as well, because they can, you can play a Legend NFT even while you have the other NFTs staked. So Legend NFTs allow you so that you can use a legend from another fighter. A good example of that is going to be the Fireman, which is going to be the first Legend NFT that we produce. And that was from, give me one moment, because we just saw that fight back at, is it 310? Well, anyways, I was going to look up the fight. So John Jones fought Stipe Miocic and he won, right? Stipe retired. Stipe has a NFT called the Fireman. And if you were to burn, I believe there's 3 versions, right? So if you're a collector and you own all 3 versions of the Fireman, you can burn those NFTs and mint a legend version of the Fireman. And what that allows you to do is when you see other players playing and they're staking Ruski and Stonefist to see who's going to earn the rewards from the that match. The rewards are based on the outcome of that fight. So let's just assume the pool is $100. Um, if a legend is enabled, that means that a legend could be risked. So let's say you minted a Fireman NFT that's a legend. You could risk your Fireman NFT and make a prediction on the outcome of the Ruski versus the Stonefist. If you're correct, you could steal 50% of that rewards pool. So rather than the winning players getting $100 split between X amount of players, you'll have $50. Okay. So the person with the Fireman NFT, they're going to be able to come in and steal rewards from those players. Now, if they lose, this is where you're buying your dot fives and getting the multiples come into play. If they lose, because this NFT is risked, the legend NFT will be risked in order to try to steal 50% of the pool, the rewards pool, right? If they lose the prediction, let's say they predicted Stonefist to win and Ruski wins. Well, everyone that is staking Ruski can have a vote on what happens to the Fireman Legend NFT. What does that mean? That means the more NFTs for Ruski that you hold, um, the better chance you have of being included in whatever the outcome is. Now, you can vote to burn it for a bribe, you can vote to award it to a single player, or you can vote to award the NFT to a DAO as a team. But let's say the flip side's true. Let's say you have a Fireman NFT and you predicted that Ruski would win because Ruski only has a V1, right? No big deal. If you have multiples, you're probably going to have more of a say. But where it comes from a long-term gameplay perspective is imagine you're on someone like Stonefist. And Stonefist, this is his V5. You got a V1, a V2, a V3, a V4, a V5. And what about players who have multiples of all those, right? So not only if Stonefist wins, do they pull a bigger percentage of the pool because they have multiples, but if the Fireman Legend NFT is lost because they predicted Ruski to win and Stonefist wins, that means you have like a really, really, really large say because you collected maybe 3 or 4 of each version. And why would you do that? The same as we said earlier. One, you earn more, but two, you have a much bigger voting power. You have a lot more pull and say on what happens when someone loses a legend fight prediction. So they're risking their legacy, and that's the terminology we're going to use whenever they risk the legend. We're going to call it risk your legacy. And that's going to be a fun part of the game. It's going to change the dynamics. It's going to turn this into kind of a team-based strategy game. It's going to be fun to watch what happens. Um, so for now, just wanted to kind of go over that. We are going to go ahead and, like I said, we're going to list these for about $5 each. And then when you look at the 1 of 1 right here and right here, we're going to put these up for auction. The auctions will run for 48 hours. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Bulk actions. Gotta love OmniFlix Studio. This nice little, I uploaded my media yesterday. Got all the media for these NFTs in. Had a nice little meeting with Jackal today. Going to start backing up the entire collection to Jackal. It's going to be badass. Make sure I can protect myself, my reputation, protect you, the customer, and everyone will be able to verify that these NFTs, that your NFT is backed up on Jackal. And that's a very powerful thing for you to have the link and the access to your own NFT out on IPFS. So I'm going to be setting that up later. For now, though, let's go ahead and hit list NFTs. And while I'm letting this come up, I got to go ahead and put my pin code in my ledger. But yeah, one of my favorite things to do here is the studio for OmniFlix is so dang easy to learn to use, and it makes minting a collection and managing your collection and minting and managing your NFTs very enjoyable. All right, so we're going to select a token. We're going to do these for Flix. And while we're here, let's just go to CoinGecko. And let's see what the price of OmniFlix is. I could have did stablecoin with IST. So we're up 7.31% today. Ooh, super low price right now, guys. So 0.04 cents, so just under 5 cents. And let's say if we want to do $10, that's going to be about 201 tokens. So we'll just make it a flat, we'll make it a flat 200 tokens, right? To start that with. Okay. And actually, we're going to switch this over to timed auction. So you got Flix, the minimum bid, and then let's see. So let's see what the percentages we want to go up are. So if we're going to do $10 and we want it to go up, say, $1 at a time. So that's 200 over 20. right? And let's see, 20 divided by 200. So that's 10%. And we're going to make it, because we got to pay out OmniFlix, we're going to make it 11%. We'll go ahead and start this tonight at 10. There we go, 10 p.m. And the auction end will be on the 14th at 10 p.m. Okay. All right, and that was for both fighters, I believe. Let me double check here. Let's get this pushed through really quick. Yeah, super excited. Anytime we have these Dagestani guys fighting, it's always a good thing. This guy's become super popular. All the Dagestani fighters are. It's a trendy, popular thing right now. So let's go to auctions, and there we are. So starts in 30 minutes, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot. Okay. But yeah, got those up. So let me head back over. And what would $5 be? That'd be 100. Okay. Go ahead and we're going to do bulk actions. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We'll come down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do list, flicks. We'll do 100 flicks tokens. Go through and approve it on the ledger device. All right, it's transaction success. So now when we come to the collect now, you will see all of these listed here for 100 flicks, which is $5 USD. And now I'm going to go back over. I'm going to refresh this page. Sometimes you can just go straight into it, but I found that refreshing kind of ensures that there's no major issues. We're going to go to non-listed because the ones I've minted but haven't listed, you want to make sure you and I'm going to get about 5 of these. Then I'm going to go back, get about 5 of these. And I could do more. I think you can fit like as you go through and select, it'll cut you off. So you can only fit so many NFTs listed in a single transaction, right? So I'm going to take these and select IST, and we'll go ahead and put 5 and confirm this listing. So now we have the one of ones listed on the auctions already. That starts at 10 p.m. And we have about 10 of each fighter listed here in the marketplace, either for IST for $5 or for the Flix token for $5. Guys, we'll re-upload more. Remember, we meant on demand. I don't want to list all of them because if we don't sell out, I don't want to have to go back and unlist them. I'm going to have to burn the excess ones and keep a few for giveaways. But if you like what you see, go check it out. This one you can tell we use the flag theme, a little bit of a textured background. This looks like it's kind of like painted, chipping away on a concrete wall. When you look at the background, this one, it looks like paint on a wooden wall. We have both colors of the flag, the Dagestani flag and the Brazilian flag. Of course, we got our fighters Ruski and Stonefist here. This is going to be for UFC 313, March the 8th. It is February the 12th, so you have, about 4 weeks or less to go pick these NFTs up. Make sure once you pick the NFTs up that you go to DAO and stake them. That is DAO.zone. And when you get there, you can use the trusty search function if it's your first time. Just search for Fight Farm, and it'll start to populate. It'll say main event staking. There will be some other Fight Farm options, so you're looking for main event staking. You'll know you're there because it shows that we have 984 NFT stakes. We're about 47%. And the reason that's important to you is when you buy the NFTs, if you want to share the rewards that we generate from staking and DeFi with a portion of every NFT that we sell, that's how we pay out is it's basically a revenue share. This is a protocol owned treasury, so it's owned by all of us, the creators and the players, and we pay these revenues out based on the outcome of the fight. So there is a little bit of randomness to it combined with a little bit of your actions. I can't control if any players stake, and I definitely can't control the outcome of a MMA fight. So right now, the cool thing is if you have 2,000 NFTs total in the collection, and you only have 984 staked, what does that tell you? There's a lot less competition. We're about paying out half of the current NFTs. Now, some of those NFTs that are current could be listed on the marketplace, or they may just be held in wallets. They could be listed by myself, or they could be listed by you, the players. If you're listing your NFTs or holding them liquid in the wallet, you cannot earn from the protocol owned treasury based on the outcome of a fight. So get over here, stake your NFTs. It's real easy. Just hit the simple login button. It'll allow you to use Kepler or Leap. If it's your first time, you have to go through and select a profile picture and do a couple steps. Once you do that, you can come back here and on the main page, it will show you your membership, and it says manage your FFME stake. It'll show you the total number of NFTs you have staked, and it'll show you the number that you have available to stake. When you hit the manage button, you can scroll through and you can select the NFTs using the button that you want to stake, and you can also do the same thing to unstake. There is a 2-week unlock period. You can see that right here, a 2-week unlock period. And it says it will take 2 weeks from when you unstake your tokens until you can withdraw them. During that time, you will not receive voting power for the unstaking tokens, nor will you be able to cancel the unstaking process. Good thing for you is we don't really have you. We stake for the purpose of paying out rewards on this specific DAO. It's not necessarily for governance, so don't worry about the voting power. The voting power used in the Legends gameplay, if a player loses a legend, is actually an invite to a secondary DAO, and that's based on your address, and your voting weight is based on the number of NFTs for that specific fighter that you hold. So don't worry about the voting power on this one, but definitely check out our collection here. Go to Fight Farm main event over on omniflix.market, and look for the Ruski and the Stonefist NFTs so that you're set for UFC 313 on March the 8th. Guys, we'll see you next time. Hope you have a wonderful night and take it easy. See ya.